Okay, this is the second video in my little series on how to write using what we call the chromatic modal theory or chromatic modal harmony. Just a quick reiteration, modal refers to the fact that we're using the diatonic scale, but we're kind of centering it on different places than either major or minor. And in the first video, we heard what Dorian sounded like. I'm sorry. So Dorian, if you described it, would be that D to D on the white keys is Dorian, has a minor third and a major sixth and a minor seventh. Lydian, which is F to F on the white key, major third, sharp 4, major 7. So it's a major scale, but kind of extra major. Dorian is a minor scale, but kind of less minor than regular. Aeolian is the same as what we also call pure minor. Then Phrygian is even more minor. It's from E to E on the white keys. So it has a minor third, perfect fifth, flatted sixth, minor sixth, flatted seventh, but it also has this flatted 2. That's Phrygian. Locrian was even more minor. That's from B to B on the white key. So it has a minor third, a flatted fifth, and a minor seventh. Sometimes it kind of feels almost like Mixolydian, but anyway, that's a little quick review that was in the first video. This video is going to talk about voicings as opposed to chords. Now, you can make a case that this is a chord, but I'm going to tell you that that's not as much of a chord as that's a voicing of notes. I've got a set of notes, and in this case, I'm going to say I made these out of D Dorian, which is, again, the white keys of the piano, easy to see. Let's put a D down here to center our ear. Now, I'm just going to put my fingers down. Is that a chord? You could say it's a chord, and you could say it's D, 7, 11, 9. But that's not really what it is. Really what it is, it's a voicing of these notes. Those are my available notes, and I can voice them any way I want. And if I change the voicing, it's going to change what we would make the sound of it. Here, so what is this? Is that a chord? Is this a chord? Are those all chords? No, they're just voicings of these white notes. I'm doing very close together, cluster voicing. Cluster voicings are super cool. All 4 notes right next to each other. That's some cool sound, and it sounds like complicated chords, but I'm just putting my fingers down. I mean, I could be doing it like this, right? So I could build music on that. I could space out the voicings and make them not clustery. I'll do this voicing. So essentially, voicings are kind of like the space between the notes. And in this kind of chromatic modal music, generally you create the voicing from the top down. Instead of having the chords built from the bottom up, you've got a set of notes, your scale, your mode. In this case, I'm doing D Dorian because it's white keys of the piano. And I'm going to put the B in my melody on my top note. So now I can do a lot of stuff. I could do cluster. I could do it like this. That's cool. And I can keep that same voicing. See how my fingers are like. Keeping that shape. I have a third, and then a second, and then skip a note, and so there's another third. Are all of those chords? Nope. Those are different voicings of this scale. That's this voicing. I could change the voicing. It's a different character. Here I have a third and then a second. I could do it like I spread them out more. Four notes in between, right? That's fourths. You hear this all the time. It can either be an aggressive sound like that, or fourths can be a beautiful sound. This is really an Aaron Copland signature. We can do it like this. Here's another shape. That's another Aaron Copland signature. A fourth, and then a second, and then a doubling of that note. That's this shape. Are all of those chords? No, they're not chords. They're just voicings. And they're voiced from the top. What else could I do? Here's one thing that's cool. You can do, so far we've been doing what you could say are diatonic voicings, which means that all of the notes I'm playing in my right hand are notes from the mode. But if I do perfect fourths, for instance, if I say I'm going to make all the notes be perfect fourths. Ooh, what is that? Okay. If I do all of the notes from the top, C. Okay. If I put B on the top and I do perfect fourths, look what happens. All of a sudden, F sharp and C sharp are not in my white keys. You have a little dissonance. All of a sudden, we got something thrown in from another world that's not part of my mode that I'm using. Does it sound cool? Can I do it? Absolutely. And it's one of the main things that are cool. This is inside, meaning all of the notes are part of D Dorian. And this is outside. Those aren't in D Dorian. I could make it extend the fourth. Watch this. So I'm gonna have to use more than one hand to do this, but here's D in the bottom. Now I'm gonna put a B. Check this out. Very cool. Those are built, the voicing is built in fourths. And when that's built in fourths, there's a name for that, which is called quartal. So when they're built in thirds, like functional harmony is built in thirds, that's called tertian harmony. And if we have harmony built in fourths, it's called quartal harmony. Q-U-A-R-T-A-L, quartal harmony. Harmony built in fourths. You'll find it's in Rite of Spring, it's in a lot of Stravinsky, it's in Petrushka a lot. It's, McCoy Tyner made like a whole, he did it a lot. I was almost going to say he made a career out of it, but that minimizes the genius of McCoy Tyner. So, he was a lot more than fourths, but he did a lot of fourths, a lot of quartal harmony, and it's a cool thing. You can kind of overdo it, and by now it's been done a lot, but it's still cool. Anyway, that's quartal harmony. So those are the kind of things that we call voicings, and we use the term voicing instead of chord, and the voicing is done from the top down. And it's just in shapes, and generally speaking, you keep the same shape over the course of, let's say you have a melody, and you keep this shape. That shape defines the vibe of this little chunk of your song. Then the next chunk, you can do a different voicing shape. I'm going to change shape. I'm going to change shape again. I'm going to change shape again. That was clusters, and they all felt like different chords, but they weren't. They were just different voicings of the notes that I have available because I'm in D Dorian right now. Okay, so now the next video, we're going to talk about how to make progressions or harmonic, we're going to call them progressions. It's a bad word because they don't progress. It's more about surprises. Progression is when the notes lead to each other. But in this kind of music, when you go to a new harmony, it's usually kind of a surprise, and it doesn't really progress there. It doesn't go there. You just go there, and it surprises us. So progression is a bad word, but we're going to use the term progression because what else are you going to call it? That's what people call it, and we just know that it's a bad word. Okay, so here comes, this was video number 2, and the progression thing is going to be video number 3.